Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with My Hero Academia. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had Katsuki Bakugo Origin. Is that how you say his first name? Katsuki? I've heard Katsuki. I think I would have generally said Katsuki. Bakugo Origin. Yeah. Just like with our two previous Origin episodes, this is when Bakugo kind of got good. He was forced to work together with Deku to face All Might, and the two of them had to compromise on their ideas. Deku wanted to just run, Bakugo wanted to face All Might head on. They compromised and said, okay, we'll face him head on, but we have to do that and then bail, basically. And it was a pretty hard fight, actually, obviously because it's All Might. And Bakugo did have to sort of get over a lot of stuff about Deku, and I think this opens the door to new possibilities with Bakugo, to perhaps a more healthier relationship between Bakugo and Deku. So yeah, this is the finale. Isn't that crazy? We are finally to the end of Season 2. What a long-ass season this has been. Just because, this season is 25 episodes long. It's almost double the amount of episodes in Season 1. But yeah, this has been a pretty crazy season, from the tournament to the internships, which also had Stain, to the final exams. We learned about All for One and One for All. And yeah, things are going great. This season has been pretty great, and I'm very much looking forward to getting into Season 3. But before we do that, we still have one more episode of Season 2 to get into. So, if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of My Hero Academia, like all the others, the reaction is not in this particular YouTube video. All you gotta do, though, is head down in the description or the pinned comment. There's a link there that will take you to the reaction, and it's just there. You don't have to do anything fancy or special in order to watch the reaction. Just one extra click will take you there. You can watch it. You can hopefully have a good time. When you're done with that, you can pop right back up here for the discussion. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the Season 2 finale of My Hero Academia. Here we go. That was intense, man. Because, they did this last season where, the final episode is more of an aftermath episode than, the climax. The climax of this, well, at least this final arc in Season 2 is the last episode, Bakugo's Origin. Whereas, this, yeah, it is more of an aftermath, but there's a lot more that happened in this one. Just that conversation between Shigaraki and Midoriya, which that's crazy. That's the first time we've seen Shigaraki without his hand on. God, immediately when he started talking, I recognized his voice as Shigaraki. Oh man. Man, Shigaraki ruined shopping. We were going to have a nice shopping scene, and then Shigaraki interrupts it. Uraraka doesn't get very far. She tries to come back to Deku, but he's still there. Ugh. Glad she showed up. But she heard All for One. She doesn't know what that means, though. She heard All for One. Man, that episode was honestly terrifying. And especially just with the fact that Midoriya couldn't do anything, Midoriya really couldn't do anything because he was being held there at decay point. But still, I like that there is, like with every quirk, there is something, quirky about Shigaraki's decay. It has to be all 5 fingers in order for his decay to activate. And by that same token, I lost it. I was going to say something. I lost it. Well, okay. By that same token, technically his power is always on. Like, he can't choose what he decays and what he doesn't. It makes me wonder, like, if you look back at any shot where he's holding something, you know, like I was just thinking, like, if there was a shot of him, like, holding a glass, if he never holds it with all 5 fingers, I would assume not then. So I like that distinction that he can't, if he uses all 5 of his fingers, then whatever he's holding decays. So, oh man. That was intense, man. That was so intense. And that's so interesting too that he went to Midoriya. Of all people, he went to Midoriya, you know, which to his credit is not a bad idea because, you know, he could talk to Kurogiri, he could talk to, you know, maybe even talk to All For One, but he went to an outside source, an outside opinion, you know, someone who has only ever met him and the Hero Killer once, basically. So I do like that he actually went to Midoriya sort of as an outside opinion, you know? So that works. And this has definitely launched Shigaraki into being a true villain now. So, oh man, that is so insane. So terrifying too, you know? So, okay. Let's go ahead and pop into the notes. The first thing I wrote, or the first 2 things we should talk about, I wrote down Himiko Toga and Dabi. The 2 villains that they have recruited. So, okay, interesting. We didn't really get to know the 2 of them that much. We didn't get to see their powers, but they are, you know, influenced by the Hero Killer. Though I like what Shigaraki says, you know, oh, they're inspired by the Hero Killer, but they could care less about what his motivations actually were, you know? So that was interesting, which is why he wanted to find out, okay, if they don't really care about Stain's motivations, why Stain? Why not me? You know, that's what he's trying to figure out. So I'm going to go back into the episode.
Really dedicated to the Hero Killer's mission? I can't imagine you are if you're going to let this little psycho join you.
It's interesting, even, like, you know, because Dabi says, like, okay, well, are you really dedicated to the Hero Killer's mission? And he starts going against Toga. So that was interesting, too. And dog's barking. I think they're going for a walk, so dog gets excited when they go on walks.
Toga here. Himiko Toga. Life is too hard. I just want to make it easier to live in this dumb world.
That was interesting. Let me listen to that just one more time.
So far, her name and face have been kept out of the media.
Toga here. Himiko Toga. Life is too hard. I just want to make it easier to live in this dumb world.
An interesting philosophy. Life is too hard. She just wants to make it easier. So, which I mean, technically, I suppose that's Stain's mission? It's not, really. Obviously, Stain is a lot more focused on what he wants, but that was interesting. Honestly, she kind of reminds me a lot of Shigaraki, actually, with, you know, what, like, okay, what is your motivation? Shigaraki before, you know, he goes and talks to Deku, so, it's also interesting that, technically, he didn't seek out Deku, you know, but once he saw him there, he was like, you know what? I need to hear what he has to say. What does he think about this? So.
I want to be Mr. Stainy. I want to kill Mr. Stainy.
Oh.
Come on, Handyman, please let
Handyman.
me go League of Villains.
Too many hands, man.
Kidding me? Is she crazy?
I kind of miss. I have to say, I do kind of miss calling Shigaraki Too Many Hands Man and Kurogiri the Well-Dressed Man with a Phantom Head. Those were so fun before I actually learned what their names were. Speaking of Kurogiri, the poor guy has to be Shigaraki's babysitter, honestly. You know? And then, he really got those portals going, those warp gates going so that no one ended up killing each other right there, which was pretty good. But it'll be interesting to see, how he interacts, with Shigaraki now that he's a lot more focused.
Conversation, for the most part at least. Come on, she could be useful. And this guy hasn't committed any flashy crimes, but he's taken Stain's ideology to heart.
I don't like this. Is your group really dedicated to the hero killer's mission? I can't imagine you are if you're gonna let this little psycho join you.
Grow up. She may be a psycho, but at least she knows how to introduce herself to people. Don't listen.
I like that, too. Shigaraki's actually kind of defending her. It's like, hey, at least she knows how to fucking introduce herself. You burned fuck. So...
What's your name?
Right now, I'm going by Dobby.
No, I want to know your real name.
I'll tell you when you need to know it. In any case, my new purpose is to carry out the hero killer's will.
It wasn't what I asked you, Patchwork.
Ugh.
Jeez, why is everyone so hung up on Stain? He's all I ever hear about.
No.
Every damn day. It's really pissing me off. You two are done.
Ugh. We really don't know. Is he like... The only thing I can think for Dobby is he has some sort of fire. Because his hand starts smoking, basically. So maybe it's some sort of a fire, which, maybe that lines up with how he looks. Toga just seemed to be using a knife, and then, obviously Shigaraki's using his decay hands. So, but yeah, I don't know. They're interesting. I'd be very interested to see more of them next season. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. So we get 2 new villains in this. I do understand Shigaraki's frustration, though, about Stain, So, and then after that, we do get, we do get the twist. So, yeah, so 5 people failed the final exam, which is actually, first off, that's a twist just on, the last couple episodes. So, we knew that Kirishima and Sato failed against Cementos, and then Kaminari and Ashido failed against Principal Nezu. But they also do say that Sero failed the final exam, and because he was immediately knocked unconscious and he was dragged through the escape gate by Mineta. So he failed too, which was pretty interesting. But like with the quirk assessment test on day 1, this was all a rational deception. No one's going to summer school. Everyone will go to camp, which is pretty good. Because I was thinking, like, okay, well, if camp, let's say camp lasts maybe half of season 3, at like maybe as long as, the tournament arc. It's like, well, are we going to lose these characters for a decent number of episodes? But no, it is all a rational deception in order for them, honestly, for them to do better, And he did say, yes, the teachers were obviously holding back. The teachers were obviously holding back during the final, which I'm going to go listen to that part.
Once the bell rings, you should be in your seats.
Ugh.
Morning. Unfortunately, there are a few of you who did not pass your final exams.
I like how he says no one bombed.
In the woods. Everyone is going.
We really get to go to camp? Seriously?
Yeah. The good news is
Well, first off, I like he says no one bombed the written exam. So that tutoring from Yaoyorozu did pay off. That's good. Smart girl. Made them smarter. Oh, it's just amazing. Yaoyorozu's so amazing. It is also interesting that he says, well, obviously, first off, everyone who failed the final exam will actually have harder training at summer camp, you know? And that's the thing. This is training in a practical final exam. Yeah, these people probably need these lessons the most, you know? So that actually makes more sense than just summer school, you know?
Is that no one bombed the written exam. 5 failed the practical badly. 2 teams, of course. And then Sarah failed as well.
Crap, I knew it. Minetta made it to the gate, but I didn't do near enough to pass.
Yeah.
Allow me to explain. For the practical battles, the teachers made sure to leave a way for the students to win.
There was always a way.
You never would have stood a chance. We were interested in observing how you each worked together and approached the task at hand.
Right. The teachers did hold back.
Teachers wouldn't be holding back.
That was just to get you on edge. Besides, the training camp will focus on building your strength. Those who failed need those lessons the most. We were never going to separate you. That was just a logical deception we used.
He's such a dick. I also like Ida gets pissed about this.
This is the second time you've lied to us. Aren't you afraid we'll lose faith in you?
A little blunt there, Tanya.
That's a good point. I'll consider it.
I like that where he says, yeah. He does acknowledge, yes, he has lied to them. So, you know, next time comes around, it's like, oh, do your best or something bad's gonna happen. They will always have it, like, at least in the back of their head. It's like, this motherfucker could be lying to us again. He could be doing this again. We don't know. But if anything, I feel like that makes it better. You know, it's like, you know, there's the possibility, okay, he could be lying to us, but do we take that chance that he's lying to us? You know, do we really, like, are we going to try to make ourselves comfortable thinking that he's lying to us but there is still a huge possibility that he's not lying to us? Or do we just get on edge anyway the way he wants us to be? You know, it's all, you know, it's perfect. It's very interesting, but he will consider not lying to them in the future.
But I wasn't lying to you about everything. Failure is failure.
Yeah.
We've prepared extra lessons for the 5 of you. Frankly, they'll be far tougher than what you'd face at summer school.
Yeah, so if anything, summer camp for them is going to be harder than the summer school they were threatened with because they failed, you know? So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, now they also said, I think, that summer camp is only going to last a week, right?
This is gonna be great. I'm so glad we're all going together. Looks like we'll be at the training camp a full week.
Just 1
A
week.
bigger suitcase.
That's interesting. He's like, oh, we'll be there for a full week. Oh, I got to pack a bigger suitcase. Like, well, wait, you were at Gran Torino's for a week. And he did sleep there, you know, he stayed there, so, I don't know. Of course, you know, this is a camp we're going to. You know, he said we're camping in the woods, so I guess it's not going to be as luxurious as Gran Torino's apartment. So, yeah, I guess. But yeah, they're only going to be there for a week, which is interesting, because they did say it's a month. Oh, did they say it's a month? Okay, did they say it's a month, or did one of you guys tell me it's a month in the comments? And when I say, okay, that doesn't mean one of you guys told me how long it's going to be in the show, but I remember I talked to one of you guys about how long school lasts in Japan, and I thought we learned that it's a month between semesters. So, okay, maybe, so I guess in here it's just a week. I don't know. I like that they start saying semester too, because last episode he was saying the first year, and it sounded like, oh, is the first year done? It's like, it's only been a semester. It hasn't been a year. But yeah, so everyone's going to summer camp. The 5 that failed, man, I kind of feel bad for Saro, because it wasn't obvious that he failed, you know? It wasn't obvious that he failed, but thinking back to, he even thought, like, you know, oh, you know, because we all got individual scores. I probably failed because I didn't do shit. Midnight knocked my ass out, you know? Knocked my ass out. I fell on her boobie. It was amazing, but still. Ugh. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I wrote down shopping. I love this. Which, first off, I love that they all went shopping together, except for Bakugo, who could not care less, and Todoroki, who went to go talk to his mother. He goes to be with his mother on his days off, which is pretty great. But yeah, they all go shopping and hang out as a class, and then they all separate anyway. I do like that, and I love when I get to see them outside of the school, you know? Like, the first, not even the first episode after, but the last episode of the tournament arc, which Todoroki versus Bakugo, you know, that's, I believe, the first half or so of that episode. It might be like 3/4 of that episode is the resolution of the tournament, basically, the sports festival. And then the last part is everyone back in the real world, you know, and it's kind of nice. You know, it's like, oh, hey, here's all of them casual. I like that. So we got a little bit of that in this episode, which was nice. You know? I like, too, they get recognized.
It's got a ton of different stores to shop at, and they're all super cool.
By the way, I have to say this. Does Japan look like real life Japan? Does it look as good as anime makes it look? Because goddamn, anime always makes Japan look amazing, you know? Just like looking at this mall, and I feel like I've seen this mall in other anime, you know? Like I've seen this kind of mall where it's like outside, there's rows, and then there's bridges in between, you know? I feel like I've seen that in other anime, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. And I notice in a number of anime, they all have the anime trenches, as I refer to them, which I've seen this. I first started noticing this in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I noticed it in, like, I think Digimon, and then I noticed it here in a couple shots, too, in this show, where it, like, there's this area where, in like, every anime, there's this area where, like, the land stops, angles downward, and then there's just, like, a little, you know, strip of land, and then, like, the river, and then it goes back, and then arcs back up on the other side of the river, you know? I call them the anime trenches. I fucking love anime trenches. They look amazing. And I love because, again, I saw anime trenches first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like in Battle City when Yugi duels strings. And then I see them like later on in later Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows, and then I see them here, and it's like, oh my god, the anime trenches are looking better and better with, you know, modern animation and stuff. So I have to ask, does Japan look as beautiful as anime portrays it to be? Because if that's the case, goddamn, Japan is beautiful, you know? I love how Japan looks in anime, so if it looks anything like that in real life, that is amazing. Okay, I had to get that off my chest. Kiyoshi. For a second, I thought she said Kiyoshi. Like, what? Avatar.
I'm going to scare the children. Stop.
I like, okay, two things. Number one, I like that Midoriya is even, like, muttering about shopping. Like, he's such a dork, you know? Also, right here, this guy that points them out as UA students, in the subtitles, it labels him as Guy 38A. Were there 38 other people in this? 37 other just guys in this episode?
Whoa, are those UA students? What A? I saw them on TV. The Sports Festival was so good.
I love that they're recognized.
I can't believe they still remember that.
Put down in your duffel bag to bring to summer training.
Oh, yeah? Maybe the two of us should browse together.
Let's see, we're gonna get a lockpicking kit and a small drill.
Mineta, oh, I didn't even notice that. Mineta, where can I get a lock-picking kit and a small drill? What the fuck? You pervert. I don't even know, like, what specifically he's going to use that for. Oh, unless he wants to make a new drill between the boys and girls' locker room. That can be what I would assume the drill is for. What he needs a lockpick for, I'm not sure. Maybe to get into their lockers? Maybe he wants the panties? I don't know. I love Mineta, though, because he's so... It is like he is so bad, But the fact that he never gets anything, nothing ever goes his way, down to the fact that that is the joke of his final exam, is that he's not, curled up with Midnight, Because that was the thing, too, is like when he was about to do his Grape Rush, that's one of those things where I'm thinking, like, is he about to just go full charging into her boobies? And he just runs by, and it's like, oh, well, good. Jeez. He has priorities right now. Boobies can wait. I need to pass. Quote that in the comments. Why don't you? So yeah, I love watching all them just be at a mall. It's just amazing. Also, Hagakure, the fact that she just is floating clothes because she's invisible all the time. That's so funny.
Probably buy some outdoorsy shoes for this thing.
Oh, that's smart. Me too.
The guide said your shoes should already be broken in.
I love Ida being so strict about
So then why don't we
what to get.
around? We can meet here again when we're done.
Great idea.
Perfect. Let's say we're all back around 3. Sounds good.
Oh, and that just leaves Deku and Uraraka. They're immediately just so cute. I love... Oh, man, it's one of those things where it's like, Aoyama... It's like, oh, finally, maybe we're getting something between the two of them. Maybe we're going to get somewhere, maybe they're going to form a relationship, who knows? And maybe they're just teasing us, all right? But the fact that this has ruined the two of them talking sucks. Now, she made some progress. She actually went back, Uraraka did go back to try to talk to him again and apologize, but, oh, they are best friends. Like, you can't convince me that the two of them are not the bestest of friends,
Looks like it's just you and me left.
Yeah.
So,
And see, for Midoriya, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go shopping with a girl. And to Uraraka, it's like, oh, I'm going to go shopping with Deku, who Aoyama says I secretly like.
what are you gonna shop for today? I want to find a few heavier wrist weights so I can up my training.
Fucking Midoriya, man. Get stronger wrist weights. He's doing some classic Goku training right there. Get the weights, man. Oh, man, he needs a turtle shell, a 50-pound turtle shell on his back. But to him, that's nothing. I mean, he was lifting All Might in episode 3, so...
I mostly just need bug spray.
Mostly just need bug spray, that's funny.
Yep.
Aww. Aww.
Aoyama, that's not it at all. I don't think.
Aww.
We came here as a class, but here I am, by myself.
Oh, it's someone UA. Nice.
Glad I didn't have the subtitles on. Because the subtitles just say Shigaraki, but... Oh my god. But just the fact, I immediately recognized his voice. I was like, shit, that's Tomura Shigaraki. And he doesn't have his hand on,
You were the one who got beat to hell at the sports festival, right?
Yeah, beat to hell.
It's so amazing. I can't believe how many people watch the matches and still remember us.
Are you one of the students who ran into the hero killer in the Hosu incident too? You're practically famous.
You sure do know a lot.
What can I say? I'm just a big fan of yours. I can't believe I'm running into you again.
Yeah, now he recognizes that voice.
Might not be a coincidence. No. This feels like it's destiny. Oh, right. From your point of view, we haven't met since the attack on UA. Why don't we spend some time catching up, Izuku Midoriya? Tomura Shigaraki.
Jesus. Encounter. And then, what I never thought would happen in this show, a conversation between... Just a random-ass conversation between Midoriya and Shigaraki. Oh, shit. Which, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Man, we've been going for so long, we're just getting into everything with Shigaraki. So first off, we did learn more about Shigaraki's powers. That, you know, he needs all 5 fingers in order to decay. So, and it's, you know, it's terrifying when he says, you know, I can probably get through 30 people before a pro shows up to stop me. You know, it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, he's terrifying. So this was such an interesting conversation. First, okay.
People are getting killed somewhere at this very moment, but these idiots keep smiling like they don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
Hero killer gear. Are they really selling them?
There's the subtitles just said Guy 38D. Jeez Louise. Okay, this store you can get a hero killer mask. You can also get hero killer swords and a shirt. People died. People died, and Genium is paralyzed from the waist down. And you're selling hero killer gear? Are you kidding me? Like, gee, I wonder, you know, let's see, I want to see Ida go by here. What would he think of this, huh? The brother of Ingenium who fell to the hero killer. You know? Didn't they say it's... Wasn't it like 9 heroes dead, 23 injured beyond recovery? And this store is selling hero killer gear? Really? Are you kidding me? That is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. That they would actually sell merchandise of a serial killer. You know? That is so weird. But I suppose I will try to suspend my disbelief, you know? I'll try to suspend my disbelief on that, but that is really... That's a lot. That was a lot to take in. That they're actually selling hero killer gear. Also, his friend is 38E.
But on the other hand, you've got sympathizers who couldn't care less about your ideals.
Yeah.
They still follow you. What's up with that?
And also, Stain could care less about this. Honestly. I feel like if Stain ever met these people, he'd just be like, I don't fucking care. You know, I'm doing my mission. Fuck off. I don't know. I feel like that.
Are you doing the same thing? You and me?
Yeah.
And you destroy things you hate just like I do.
But what is the difference?
So what gives?
What was that voice screaming, I wonder? Yeah, and that's when he sees Midoriya.
Don't make a scene. I'm just an old friend who ran into you at the mall. Calm down and wipe that look off your face. I think we should have a conversation is all. A friendly chat. Oh, and of course, if you try to run or fight me in any way, well, it'll be fast. As soon as all 5 of my fingers touch your neck, your throat will be the first thing that disintegrates. In a matter of seconds, you'll be nothing more than dust and powdered bone.
If you do that here where there are so many people, a hero will come and catch you in no time. You couldn't escape.
I don't doubt that. But just look at these sheep. Any one of them could use their quirks and start a massacre whenever they wanted. Yet they're all here, smiling. They think laws and rules will protect them because they assume everyone has their same morals.
Yeah.
Because nothing bad could ever happen to them. After you, I could kill 20, 30, maybe even more before a pro showed up and managed to stop me.
Yeah.
I get it. Let's talk.
This is nice. A real moment. Let's go grab a seat and get comfortable, why don't we? When it comes down to it, I hate basically everything. The hero killer pisses me off the most right now.
Isn't he one of your guys?
Not technically, but that's what the media made it look like. And that's what my problem is. It's like suddenly everyone is obsessed with that stupid hero killer. The attack on UA, the Nomus I released on Hosu, he upstaged all of it. No one's even giving me a second thought. Why is that? Despite what he claims to believe, all he really did was try to get rid of whatever things he didn't like.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is between us?
That is interesting. He goes to an outside source. He goes to an outside source to figure out what is the issue here, basically. He goes to Midoriya, which is interesting. So, and then what Midoriya says, you can somewhat understand Stain, And he says about All Might. And then Uraraka trying to overcome her feelings and go talk to him.
I don't hero killer either.
Everything that I do is to create a stronger society.
That night, he even saved me from the flying Nomu. He's a maniac, but he doesn't destroy things just because it sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's game over for real.
And he doesn't give up.
Let's go home. All the dots connected.
Yeah.
Why he makes me so angry. Why you irritate me so much.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense.
All Might.
It's him. The problem is All Might.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the most rational explanation. I didn't see it even though it was right in front of me the whole time.
Because they're inspired by All Might.
It's simple.
Everyone.
Morons are able to smile thoughtlessly.
Yeah.
They feel so safe because that garbage pro is smiling thoughtlessly too. As if there's no one in the whole world he can't save. Oh, I'm glad we had this chat. I feel better. I can't thank you enough, Midoriya. I don't need to change my ways after all. Oops, don't struggle now. Unless you want to die.
Yeah. So that's why is that everyone is inspired by All Might. Even Stain is inspired by All Might. That is what Shigaraki hates the most is All Might. Man, oh man, that is crazy.
Hey, you want all these people here to crumble as well?
Yeah.
You know, it's really ironic, hero killer. I'm your opposite, but you let me live. And now your ideals and convictions will become a stepping stone for me.
Yeah. Now he feels confident in using all of that. He can use Stain's ideology in order to make himself win, basically. Now he's basically going to do what Kurogiri was saying, Use these people, use Toga and Dabi in order to carry out your plans and defeat All Might.
Is this a friend of yours? Or no, wait a minute. Hey, let go of him.
Oh, shit.
This is nothing. Everything's fine. Stay back. No closer.
Oh, you were here with a friend? I didn't know. Sorry about that. If you try following me, I'll get angry.
Deku!
Hold on. Shigaraki.
Shigaraki?
I have a question too. What is All for One after?
Who knows?
Who knows, really? But here's a little word of advice, friend. Be careful. The next time we meet, I'll likely have to kill you.
So, now, honestly, Shigaraki has his motive, his drive. Beforehand, it was just, I just want to kill what pisses me off. Now it's, I want to kill what pisses me off because of All Might. All Might pisses me off, you know? And everyone follows him the way they follow Stain, you know? So now he has his conviction. And it's interesting how he says, you know, what does All for One want? And even he's like, I don't fucking know, but it's like even he doesn't really know. So he doesn't even have, maybe he doesn't even have that close a relationship with one or All for One. So, oh boy, that's crazy. Man, and Uraraka got in there too, you know? She was going back to, you know, just apologize so that they could be cool, and then she gets dragged into this too. But then she does, you know, call the police and everything, so... Oh. And then we got the conversation with Sukeyuchi, which was good.
They get together when so many lives were on the line. Most people would have panicked and lost their cool in that situation.
You know, and he does... Deku does say, I wish there was some way I could have restrained him, but honestly, like with what happened with Stain, honestly, he couldn't do that. You know, that's still technically against the law. Although, I suppose that would be if he hurt Shigaraki. If he restrained him, that's one thing. Or even just restrained him and waited, you know, while Uraraka found a pro, basically. I guess that would be okay. I think? I don't know. But Sukeyuchi is a bit more open, you know. He's not as sort of strict as the Hosu City chief. So
No one got hurt today because you were able to remain calm.
yeah, so he was encouraging at least.
Young Midoriya, Sukeyuchi.
Sukeyuchi. Okay, I guess that's how you say it.
How? I needed to talk to him anyway.
What a relief. I'm so glad you're okay. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to protect you and the others.
And this is interesting. You know, he says, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to protect you and the others. This is like the third time he said that. Yeah, he said that after what happened with Stain. You know, I'm sorry I couldn't be there when you needed me. And that leads into, is there anyone you can't save? And yeah, All Might can't save everyone, you know? But I like Sukeyuchi says, you know, when All Might is there, he will save everyone, you know? So there's at least that. It's basically a whole thing of, you know, save who you can. You can't save everyone, but you can save who you can, basically. So that was interesting. And then, yeah, we did get, you know, the ending of the first semester, which was pretty cool. That was nice. We also got Deku's mother, you know, not being able to handle this anymore, which I get it. I understand what she's saying, but also you have to know this is going to happen to Deku, you know? He's going to be a pro hero. So, yeah. It was rough. It's never not going to be rough for her, you know? But yeah. So we had the end of the first semester.
I'm counting on you again, Sukeyuchi.
That's an interesting line too. After they talk about, you know, we have to capture one or All for One this time, and he says, "Yeah, one more fight. I'm counting on you again, Sukeyuchi." So it makes me wonder how much Sukeyuchi was involved with the last time All Might faced All for One, which last time he thought he killed him.
From the entrance exam to the
All right.
first test, combat training, the League of Villains attack, a sports festival, our internships on the Hosu incident, and finally our exams.
Yeah.
A lot has happened, but my first semester
Crazy ass
is nearly
semester.
over. Summer is about to begin. Though that doesn't mean we can just ignore our training. All of us need to be prepared for the evil lurking around the corner.
Yeah.
Because that's how we'll become true heroes. We don't have time to stand around. We have to keep running toward our goals.
You got to keep going. It's also interesting going back a bit to All Might talking to Tsukauchi, he does recommend that All Might actually leave UA because it could honestly put people in danger, which you understand that definitely, but at the same time, you know, he does sort of have to be there, especially to train Midoriya, you know? So yeah, so the first semester is over. Also, the final scene of this season was All for One.
That's not why, Doctor. It's because Tomura Shigaraki has finally found his conviction.
Yeah.
The League of Villains needs people who will get behind his principles. I'll leave all of the decisions to him for now. If he asks for help, then of course I'll step in and guide him.
Yeah, so Shigaraki's in charge for a while.
In fact, I've been waiting for the day when he seeks my aid. I'm preparing for him to become the next me.
Yeah, so we did hear that. He's preparing for Shigaraki to be his successor. And then it cuts to what I can only assume is, you know, a new Nomu being created. So we'll have to see what all that means. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That's all I wrote down for this episode. A crazy, crazy episode. You know, even if only for sort of an aftermath episode, honestly. But this is pretty crazy. Now, I have to say, I do like that, you know, they say, okay, this is the end of the first semester. It took 2 seasons to get through 1 semester at UA. And they said there are 3 years of UA. You're there for 3 years, so it's going to be a long show. We have at least 2 more seasons. I have at least 2 more seasons going through Season 3 and Season 4, which I believe has just finished airing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's... if it's not, it's very close, I believe. Which I've been staying away from spoilers and everything about it, don't worry. But I do know that MHA was actually renewed for a 5th season, so that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll catch up in time to watch that season with y'all. Hopefully. I really hope that I can. But yeah, this has been really great, and honestly, I'm sure next season's going to be even better, and I cannot wait to get to that. So that is pretty much that. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time on Season 3 of My Hero Academia. See you guys then. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of My Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.